There's something wrong with the way you think, and you already know it. You sit down to do something that matters, and within 4 minutes, sometimes 2, something pulls you away. Not a notification, not a sound, just a feeling. And the terrifying part isn't that it keeps happening. The terrifying part is that you can't remember the last time it didn't. We all know the pattern. You unlock your screen just to check the weather or reply to a single message. The next time you blink, 20 minutes have vanished. You are deep in the comments section of a video you don't even care about. When this happens, the immediate reaction is guilt. We tell ourselves we are lazy or we lack discipline. We watch our ability to read a book or hold a deep train of thought slowly evaporate, and we internalize it as a moral failing. But that guilt is entirely misplaced. You do not have a focus problem. It's a sovereignty problem. Your attention is not something you misplaced through weakness. It is a resource that was systematically extracted from you. The mainstream advice for this is, honestly, almost insulting. You look for a solution online and you inevitably find some guy preaching about a dopamine detox while trying to sell you a $60 Notion template to track your Pomodoro intervals. They want you to believe that if you just buy the right app blocker or build the perfect aesthetically pleasing color-coded digital dashboard, you will magically fix your brain. It is absurd. The distraction economy does not want you distracted. It wants you dependent. Decades of research from UC Irvine, led by Gloria Mark, tracked this collapse in real time. In 2004, the average attention span on a screen was 2.5 minutes. Today, it has plummeted to 47 seconds. We check our phones 205 times a day. We face nearly 300 interruptions every single workday. This isn't an accident. The pull to refresh motion on your feed is the exact same psychological mechanism as pulling the lever on a casino slot machine. And the neurological cost of this is staggering. The psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi spent his life studying the flow state, that beautiful, frictionless zone where you are completely absorbed in a meaningful task. Flow requires a minimum threshold of unbroken concentration. But Gloria Mark's research found that every time you are interrupted, it takes your brain an average of 23 minutes to fully recover and get back to that original depth of focus. Think about the math on that. If you get even just a fraction of the notifications a normal person gets, you are mathematically incapable of reaching flow. The chain reaction is brutal. The extraction of your attention creates chronic context switching. Your brain was never designed to jump between a tragic news story, a comedy sketch, and an email from your boss every 10 seconds. That constant switching creates a heavy cognitive fog. And when that fog becomes your default state, the collapse of flow is inevitable. This is what we jokingly call brain rot. It is what happens when depth begins to feel genuinely painful because your neural pathways have been rewired to reject it. I know exactly what that pain feels like. There was a long period where I would sit at my desk, open a blank document, and physically feel my skin crawl with the urge to look away. I would try to read a physical book and realize my eyes had scanned 3 pages, but my mind had absorbed absolutely nothing. I felt hollowed out. I thought I was losing my edge, but I wasn't. I was just swimming in a toxic environment and wondering why I felt sick. This is what Seneca meant when he wrote, and I'm paraphrasing from his letters, "Everything is foreign to us. Time alone is ours." He wrote that 2,000 years ago. The Stoics weren't naive about the world competing for your attention. They were very clear that your capacity to be present, to actually inhabit the moment you're in, was the only thing that couldn't be taken from you by force. Marcus Aurelius called it the sacred discipline. Confine yourself to the present, not as a mindfulness tip, as a declaration of sovereignty. Your attention is your time. Your time is your life. And there are now trillion-dollar systems whose business model is the extraction of exactly that. So, how do we stop the bleeding? You stop relying on willpower. Willpower is a joke when you are fighting a supercomputer. You have to change the physical environment. If you want to do deep work, the phone cannot be on the desk face down. It needs to be in another room, inside a drawer. You have to create actual physical friction between yourself and the machine. Make your bad habits annoying to execute. Treat your workspace like a fortress because it is currently under siege. Stop blaming yourself for a game that was rigged from the start. See the system for what it is. Reclaim your environment, and you will slowly reclaim your mind. Protect your time. It really is all we have.